And good morning, everyone. How you doing? I got to get a new intro. I'm going to make a new intro, and when will I debut this new intro? Hey, oh, by the way, hello. I'm just kind of talking to myself here, so just bear with me. I got to make a new intro. It's not long enough, and it doesn't really tell you anything. Well, how the hell are you, people? Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, P-Dog Knight. It's good to see you. Lots of people here already. Wow, this is awesome. I just love the fact that people are here before I even turn the little clicky thing on. I really appreciate that. So just a quick good morning to the Hate Camel, Diesel Dave, Sarah, Tarai, Deos. Tarai, am I saying that right? I know everyone who every time I see someone mention your name, I never know if anyone's saying it correctly, but that's how I'm saying it, so we're going to stick with that. Who else is already here? Max Del Rio, good morning, Tarkata, and there's a whole bunch of you. Let's see, talking to yourself is okay, P-Dog Knight. It's when you start answering yourself that we may get concerned. Yeah, you know, I'll keep that in mind. So I really wasn't going to do a Jussie update today because I thought, there's not that much going on in the case. There's a little time because he's decided that he's not going to talk to the police yesterday, so he didn't do that. But then, doggone it, I found something that I didn't really already go through, and I'm like, why didn't I even see this coming? I should have seen this. And actually, I saw part of it coming, so we're going to get into this. As you know, and now, so far, let's see. So far, everyone who is here has been with me before. So y'all are probably almost tired of me talking about Jussie Smollett. But it's just my thing. So I'm going to start with the Jussie update. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I gotta look. I haven't seen this morning's TMZ article, but I am gonna dig that up too. But here's the thing. The other day, when we watched the interview, Jussie Smollett and Robin Roberts, and I was talking about there was something odd about the threat letter he got a few weeks before, and I'm gonna just recap that. So let's just look at this real quick. This is what I talked about then. So to take a quick listen.
And laced with powdery substance, likely Tylenol.
Do you think there's a link between the letter and the attack?
Yeah, some Nigerians. Just saying. This is kind of like Inception, isn't it? Anyway, here we go.
And you did mention it to the police right away about the letter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he mentioned it right away. He made sure they knew about that letter. He made sure, because that's the plot. This whole. Have y'all ever watched anything written by Lee Daniels? Okay, that's just, I said something about the plot there, but here's the more important part, though, that I must have cued this incorrectly. So here we go. All right, check this out. The little kid-like handwriting, and then you got this label maker that says Smollett Jussie. What the hell is that? Or did they steal a label off his locker to put this up there? Now, when I said that, I found that just really odd. They had this label on here with his name written, Smollett Jussie, not Jussie Smollett. Smollett Jussie. Now, if you look at all the other stuff in the letter, let's go take a quick look at the letter here. I'll put this on a different size screen so you can see the whole thing. So here's that letter. Okay, and you can see my cursor in there, I think. Yep. Okay, so there it is, the Jussie Smollett. Now, everything else on this letter is cutout letters from magazines and good morning, Chicago, Mike. And then obviously the really bad penmanship MAGA writer who wrote the address, which I just laugh because every time someone does one of these fake letters, they write it in red and they always make the handwriting look like an 8-year-old did it. But I digress. But this Smollett Jussie label, that really has been bothering me ever since I first saw this. Because that is clearly, it's not cut out letters. Everything else is cut out letters except for this little label that's made with usually like a P-Touch. You ever know what a P-Touch is? It's a label maker that you make for labels. And they're used a lot in places where people got to put your name up somewhere. They might have to put it up 3 or 4 times. So, for example, in my kids, when my kids were young and they went to a Montessori school and they all had their own little cubby hole, and the teachers printed out little labels to put on the cubby hole, with their names on it. So each kid knew where their stuff goes. Or if the parents were coming to go look for their stuff, they go, oh, where's his name? Oh, there's my kid's name. I can find it. And so a lot of times they would put the last name first and the first name last. So I just found that really odd. Okay, so somewhere Jussie Smollett's name is put up with little labels is where they got this label. Why would a criminal put it backwards? But then I thought, okay, wait a minute, but listen to this interview. Hang on, let me escape out of here. Let's go back here. Okay, let's go back to this interview. Listen to how he says it. And if they did, how did they get to his locker? I wonder if they're related to the show. Now listen to this. That's very interesting.
With the words that said, Smollett, Jussie, you will die black.
Now, did you hear that? I talked about this a little bit, but listen to what he says. How did they get to his locker? I wonder if they're related to the show. That's very interesting. Listen carefully.
With the words that said, Smollett, Jussie, you will die black.
He says, with the words, Smollett, Jussie, you will die black fag. He says his own name backwards. Now, this is a letter that supposedly, well, not supposedly, they did call in the authorities, and the FBI are investigating this letter. And he knows exactly, in this interview, he knows without even thinking about it. Now, normally you're in an interview and they're asking you about, have you ever been threatened before? And in this interview, he's saying exactly what the letter says. Is that if someone asks you just kind of, if you're just being interviewed or someone's asking you a question about something, would you say your own name backwards? But he did. I think, and I still think this label came somewhere from the set of Empire, somewhere in that building where they have to put his name on things, because it's backwards. It's a label maker. Who refers to themselves as Smollett Jussie. Okay, now that leads us to today's article that we're going to read, and I think this is somewhat hilarious. Because, as we learned yesterday, I'll just go transition here. As we learned yesterday, I said there wasn't much to talk about this, and Smollett didn't go and talk to the police because his lawyers, by the end of the day, said, "Oh, we're not going to do it today. We're going to do it another time." I think the lawyers need to try to help him get a story straight. Plus, he has a PR firm to help him do that. So but this letter, you got to remember, this letter came a week or so. Or a couple weeks, or I don't know, before this thing happened, and the FBI has been looking into this letter. So they've already been doing this for a while. Who haven't I said hello to yet? Good morning, Tyler F. And Chicago Mike, who Chicago Mike's not going to be here. That's okay. It'll be on replay. It's all good. Oh, by the way, I gotta thank somebody. Let's see. Is Jaeger Pony here yet? No. You know what? I didn't even notice these. There's some new donations. Tarai Deos donated $5. Someone in my place at work stated that they bullied that native. Even claimed they watched all 2 hours. Oh, that's from we talked about the other day. But anyway, Jaeger Pony, when he was gone, thank you for the extra $10 there, Jaeger Pony. Dang it, I missed it. I have to watch the replay now. Oh, wait. And that's just for Chicago Mike. These replays are always on, so you can watch them anytime. I watch it myself to see if I'm getting any better at this. I kind of am. I don't say as much. I used to say a whole lot the first couple days, but I'm getting more comfortable, and I'm getting better for you. So here we go. Let's get back to what I was talking about, which was this letter. So today's article, and this is from the Chicago, what do they call it? The Crime Watch blog, Chicago. Now, this is the place where I first started getting local information, and then I moved over to Rob Elgis and Rafer Weigel. But the Chicago Crime Watch blog has been invaluable as a source of information. And here's yesterday's, that I missed this yesterday. Let's see, what time was this posted? Maybe it was posted later in the day, and that's why. It doesn't say, but this is a great article. Oh yeah, 8:20. So this was posted last night at 8:20 p.m. That's why I didn't see it. So let's go through this article. I love this one. This is going to be golden. So, Smollett threat letter called an enormous mistake. Purported attack location identified, and federal charges are certain. This is fantabulous. So, on Friday, January 18th, a letter was dropped into a mailbox in Chicago's southwest suburbs. The envelope was addressed in childlike scrawl to Empire TV star, which is a very generous description, Jussie Smollett, at Cinespace Studios, a West Side production facility that the Fox program calls home. Mega! I got to use the right inflection for mega! Hi, Cynical Lindsay. How are you? I'm waving at you right now. Okay. Okay. An acronym for Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign slogan, Make America Great Again. Do they really, every freaking time, do they really need to explain that every time? Does anyone by now not know what the hell MAGA means? Good Lord. Thank you, Turcotte. Thank you for putting that up there, the link to the TMZ article. Okay. Was sloppily written in the return address space. 4 days later, and about... Oh, by the way, I do have my reparations coffee this morning. And I need that because I keep coughing. Maybe just to start drinking alcohol in the morning. Then that's a good cough suppressant. Brandy, maybe? Brandy with a little honey and lemon? I might try that later. Okay, anyway. 4 days later, at about 11 miles away, the letter was found its way to Smollett. Now, listen to this, because this is kind of stupid, too. Something about the envelope must have raised concerns. Smollett would later tell police that he and Empire's executive producer, Lee Daniels, donned gloves before they opened it and exposed themselves to a threat letter covered with white powder. Police logged the time as 2:30 p.m. Someone else, I watched a video earlier this morning, and this person made a really good point about this. So you see this childlike envelope dressed or writing on an envelope. What would make it threatening to you? Wouldn't you think it was just a child fan? I mean, the MAGA, it doesn't even look right. But so what would make this envelope raise concern that you would actually go put gloves on? They went and put gloves on and opened it. If you're really thinking there's something wrong with this, wouldn't you just not open it and call the police? But no, Inspector Gadget, Smollett Gadget, whatever, decides to put some gloves on and open the letter. Now that is a red flag to me that he might have said it to himself. Anyway, let's go on. The powder was later determined to be crushed Tylenol, according to reports, but the letter addressed to Smollett depicted a curly-haired stick figure being hanged by another stick figure with a noose. Did you hear that? A noose. Individual letters and words that appeared to be clipped from magazines. The sender threatened Smollett with an anti-black, anti-gay message. You will die, fag. I'll give you one of those Robin Roberts looks. And about a week after Smollett opened the letter, he told police that he had been beaten and kicked in Streeterville by two men who recognized him from Empire. They poured bleach on him and, in throwbacks to the threat letter, called him anti-gay, anti-black slurs while putting a noose around his neck and screaming, "This is MAGA country," he said. As Smollett reported the attack to the police, a multi-agency federal investigation into the source of the threat letter was entering its 7th day. This is beautiful. Headed by the FBI Chicago field office, the terroristic threat investigation is being assisted by one of America's oldest and most underestimated law enforcement agencies, the United States Postal Inspection Service. Whoever sent the letter to Smollett may have considered the mail to be an untraceable way to deliver a message. They would be mistaken. "The postal guys are the real deal," said a Northside cop who worked with inspectors on a serial package theft case in Lincoln Park last November. "They can do amazing things and are not afraid of the work." I love this. I love this article. Since being created by Benjamin Franklin, yes, that Benjamin Franklin, the service has learned a few things about tracing mail-based crimes. Figuring out who mailed a letter has been made easier because while most criminals know to wear gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints, most criminals also forget to leave their cell phones at home when they go to the mailbox. Even without tracking phones, inspectors have a catalog of techniques developed over the course of 200 years to track letters to its source. More than 1,000 white powder cases were investigated between January 2007 and March 2009 alone, according to the LA Times. The inspectors are not afraid of tedious work. So for about a month now, these people have been tracking just about this letter, and the postal inspector dudes, they don't mess around. "Hey, Ward Lotus, nice to see you." Retired Chicago cop Donna Kenny. "My first experience with postal inspectors was in 1987. I answered a call to see this mother about the mailman," Kenny remembered. "The mother thought the mailman was flirting with her 12-year-old daughter. I was very new, and I eventually wound up contacting the postal inspectors. I'd never heard of them before. The inspectors met Kenny," Kenny's the cop, "at the mother's house to compile some information. While they did that, they asked Kenny to earn the girl's confidence. She did. She told me that she had sex with the 36-year-old mailman who said he wanted to marry her. That was day one. The next morning after roll call, Kenny was called into a meeting. The postal inspectors, one day later, the postal inspectors dropped a thick 3-ring binder on the desk and said, "Come with us." They had spent the whole night interviewing the entire neighborhood, getting the mailman's personal record, which included previous complaints of inappropriate sexual behavior with the minors, and the report from the emergency room where I'd taken the girl the day before. I didn't even realize there was an emergency room doctor report. Kenny worked side by side with inspectors, shepherding the girl through meetings with detectives and prosecutors. I learned so much in those few days, and I was grateful for the education on how things are done properly from start to finish. To this day, they are two of the best cops I've ever worked with." So, the feds and the postal inspectors have been on this for a month. Hi, Maniac Man. How are you? So, new developments. The two Lakeview brothers, who were previously considered a person of interest in Smollett's purported attack, told police during interrogations last week that Smollett staged a hate crime because he was upset that the threat letter did not get enough attention. The threat letter that I personally, I'm just going to keep reading. This is great. I don't know if any of you followed this. This is another one. If you hear an echo, Wait a minute, hang on. Does anyone else hear an echo, or is that Let's see. No, I don't have it. I don't have my volume up on this screen. Okay. All right. Let's just. Hopefully you don't. Anyway. All right. Okay. So they said Smollett staged the hate crime because he was upset. Sound is off. Oh, let's try something here. My apologies. Let's see if I got something going on here. Give me 1 second. I think I can fix this. Here, let me just, here, hang on a second, people. Sorry about that. Give me a second. Here, let me just, here, hang on a second, people. Sorry about that. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Let's, let's try something real quick. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna have to try to figure this out another time. Do I have the stream muted? Yes, I do. Let me check my dashboard here. I might have just screwed something up. Who knows? This happened yesterday too, didn't it? Here, let's just, you don't need to see me. Watch me do this. All right, let's go in here. Let's go into edit. Hope this is not too annoying. It started like halfway through yesterday's stream. Yeah, I know. I noticed that when I was listening to the playback. Tell you what, I'm going to just figure this out another day. You'll just have to listen to some bad audio for a day. I apologize for the sound issues that I'm having. As long as you can still hear what I'm saying, I'll work on the audio another day. I don't always. This isn't even a boomer thing. This is whatever. All right, let's go back to the article. I'm gonna try to get back into this real quick. All right, let's go back. We'll figure it out and we'll work on the sound issues. All right, so let's get back into this. So meanwhile, the FBI and U.S. Postal Inspection Service have been quietly working on the origins of Smollett's letter for nearly a month, giving far more attention than he knew. So he was pissed off it wasn't getting enough attention. I think he wanted that first letter to be, national news, that he got these threat letters, but he's such a bit player on a, the show's popular, so to speak, but it's not a super mega hit show, anyway, but they have been following this. Late Monday, CWB Chicago received confirmation that the letter case has been before a federal grand jury and multiple subpoenas have been generated over the course of the investigation. Amazing. So the federal grand jury has already been looking onto this. They already got subpoenas out there. They are already on this case. In a conversation February 8th, before police met with brothers Ola and Abel Osundairo, a leading source within the Smollett attack investigations called the hate crime a false flag. So the people who've been inspecting on the letters already knew this is a false flag and said there is a direct line. I wonder why why did they have this? Let's see what this link is to. Oh, okay. They put this, they just linked their Twitter lines. There is a direct line between the letter and the purported attack. In the same conversation, the source hinted at what was to come. This is not a whodunit. It's a how many people done it. Whoever mailed the letter, quote, made an enormous mistake. End quote, we were told. Federal charges were, quote unquote, certain. A law firm partner who asked not to be identified by name spoke with us about the federal problems ahead for whoever mailed the letter. If they have Smollett on the letter, he'll be facing terroristic hoax charges, a felony. There may be federal obstruction charges as well. So, oh my goodness. Now, that's the reason when I said, you know, it's so weird that on that letter, everything else is cut out letters from magazines and things, except for that one piece that came from a label maker with his name backwards. No criminal looking for Jussie Smollett's name is going to print out a special label. They're just going to see if they can find it somewhere. If they're cutting out all these other letters, why would they take the time to take a label maker and put that on a letter? They wouldn't. That label came from somewhere where Smollett has something labeled with his name on it. And I can't imagine, perhaps his apartment building, perhaps the set of Empire in Chicago, but he's involved with the letter. And the thing about the terroristic hoax charges, that is not local police doing that work. That's the federal government courts doing the work. So even if the people of Chicago are going to be lenient on anything, or the city of Chicago or whoever's pressing charges there, which I don't think they're going to be, because they've wasted a lot of investigators' time. The federal charges are not going to go easy on him at all. So I think he needs to come up with a better story. By the way, I'm going to put this in the links later today. There's a really good 4-part series watching by a body language and deception expert on YouTube that watched the interview like I did the other day. And she did a 4-part series on people. Her expertise is in how to tell when people are lying based on body language and body tics and things like that. It's a really fascinating series. It also brings in a bunch of other cases, but particularly looking at the Jussie Smollett interview with Robin Roberts. So I will link that in the description down below later today. So if you get a chance, come back and check the description on this. Also, let's see. The other thing is the attack location was identified. One piece of housekeeping. CWB Chicago has confirmed with Chicago police that Smollett told responding officers that he was attacked on the southwest corner of New Street and Lower East North Water Street. So when I showed you the map the other day, I don't have it up today, but it's one block over from the street that Walgreens was on. Walgreens is up here, and there's a Walgreens here, Subway's across the street, there's a Target here, and then one street over down towards his apartment. I'm not going to bring up a map for that. Anyway, the correct location was confirmed by information contained in dispatch records for Chicago Police Department evidence technician who was assigned to process the purported crime scene shortly after Smollett reported the attack to the police. CWP Chicago sought the dispatch records after noticing that the Chicago Police Department's original case report of the purported attack lists the address of the occurrence as 341 East Lower North Water Street, which I showed you the map a couple weeks ago, or last week. That's across the street and slightly east of Smollett's home. Now, listen to this. This is kind of fun, too. On Saturday, a 30-year-old woman who lives in a high-rise that overlooks the purported crime scene told CWP Chicago that she believes she saw the events that Smollett described to police as a violent hate crime. The woman said she returned to her apartment early on January 29th after helping a friend move from the Gold Coast to Lincoln Park. It was cold and everyone bailed on him, so it took forever, she said. Upon returning home, the woman saw 3 men standing near the corner where Smollett would later report being attacked. All I saw was 3 guys talking, she said. They were standing right before the staircase that leads to Upper East North Water Street. I don't think there was any problem because it looks like they knew each other. And she said, as she looked down on the men through her open bedroom window, she did not hear any screaming or slurs. I heard trucks 2 blocks away on Michigan Avenue, but I didn't hear anything from them. If the woman is right, she estimates that the actual timeline for the crime as known to the public is off 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, she said. So why did she have her window open so early on a frigid Tuesday morning? Because I was smoking pot, she laughed. That's why I haven't talked to the cops too. So anyway, this is such a funny story. I love it. All right. Now I'm going to go back and I haven't seen the TMZ article, and I'll just add that in right now because let's see. I haven't read TMZ this morning. Oh, that's not it. What the hell did I do there? Oh, that's my street. I need TMZ. There we go. All right, wrong article. All right, let's check out the TMZ article from today. Big ass picture of Jussie. Jussie. Thank you for the whatever you some can't. What's that song? That's not a song. It's not called Jussie, is it? That's an old song, man. Oh no, that's Sunny. Oh God. Anyway, I don't even know. Probably I'm the only one old enough to even know what the hell that song is. Anyway. So a local sells them out. Glorious. Yeah, how about that, Maniac Man? Good goodness. Captain Brambles, what's happening? Nice to see you here. Okay, let's see. Oh, no. Jussie Smollett, Empire role slashed in wake of attack scandal. Jussie Smollett's Empire screen time is getting slashed in the wake of growing sentiment that he staged the so-called attack. Production sources tell TMZ Jussie was supposed to have 9 scenes and a big musical number in the second to last episode, which is being shot now. But 5 of his scenes have been cut, and his musical number has been 86th. As for the remaining 4 scenes, we're told he's no longer the focus. The scene features an ensemble, meaning he's flanked by a number of cast members. With his duties pared down, Jussie will be spending way less time on the set. Well, he'll probably be spending more time in court. That's just me. Instead of working every day this week, we're told Jussie's working Friday and possibly Thursday. And he won't be rehearsing. Yes, Maniac Man, that's exactly what came to my mind. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Less work for Jussie means more work for writers who are busy making edits. In the past 24 hours, we're told the script has undergone multiple revisions. Well, oh, TMZ, you make me fucking sick. We broke the story. Jussie's case is heading to a grand jury as early as Tuesday. Our law enforcement sources say the focus is presenting evidence that could lead to a felony indictment against Jussie, for allegedly filing a false police report. He's got more troubles than that. Federal terrorist threats. That's a big one. That's serious jail time. So they are, yeah. So they're writing him out of Empire after all. Exactly, Max Del Rio. Goodness, you know what? this one was not in my plan at all today. But should we just check out some of the comments from this? Oh hell yes, we're gonna check out the comments. Let's see what we got here. We'll just go through. Let's see. Let's just check out a few. And they say that Trump lies. The difference is Trump's so-called lies come true. Libtard lies don't. Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off. Al Sharpton is sure. Al Sharpton sure is. I thought that quit. Sure is quiet lately. What does Black Lives Matter have to say? Where is Talcum X, a.k.a. Sean King? If he lied, he should get fired from the show and go to jail. But if these guys that said he paid them lied, then what then what none of you racists are going to apologize for what you said because that's how you feel about black people. All it takes these days for people to say vile things is an accusation, no waiting to see if it's true, just straight to attacking whatever happened to innocent. Brother, learn how to use punctuation. Good God. There ain't no punctuation, almost. So anyway, this dude's saying, let's see, what is he actually trying to say? If he lied, he should get fired from the show and go to jail. But if these guys said that he paid them, then lied, then what none of you racists are going to apologize for what you said. Because that's how you, oh my God. Anyway, he's saying that everyone who's doubting this has got to be some racist and saying vile things. But here's the kicker. He says, all it takes for these days is for people to say vile things is an accusation, no waiting to see if it's true. Really? Really? Have you been paying attention to last week? Accusations and not waiting to see if it's true? Interesting. That comment didn't make sense. Both parties are black. Yeah, I know. Right. Bet this guy believed the narrative about the MAGA kids. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got on Twitter and stuff. This gal, she is convinced that this is all the whole thing that the police saying are bullshit. Please, Democrats, stop all this racial hatred toward white men. Jussie Smollett, baby sister, does adult films. Look up Celia Lyon. No. That's no. Jussie Smollett's sisters are actresses. In fact, one of them's his sister. What's her name? What's her first name? Anyway, she was in a movie called The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington and that was actually a pretty good movie. And she has a couple. He has there's 8 siblings in that family, but they're all in show business, but not that kind of show business. Unless Celia Lyon is a character on Empire who's doing adult films, but that's not whatever. Anyway, TMZ got punked and now they're backtracking. TMZ got their ass whooped on this, and they're trying to say, "Oh, we broke the story." You broke the story of some manager. I still want to know the TMZ source of the original story. Whatever. I don't know. Well, Empire came tumbling down with the libtards wishing and hoping that the story was true. Visions of the high schoolers attacking that Indian. Yeah, very much like it. The whole Jussie story is just as fake as the MAGA bomber story. Well, the MAGA bomber story wasn't... It was true, but the MAGA bomber didn't send real bombs. That's the thing. But the story, he actually was sending the shit. But it's interesting. Has anyone heard anything about him lately? I don't know. Nobody's heard anything about him. It is a tragedy, to say the least. Indeed, if it was staged. What a waste of talent to be destroyed by propaganda. I pray there is some truth to the story. I wish Jussie the best going forward. This is a fan. Jussie has fans. Jussie does have fans. This I am gonna here. Where's this gal? Because I started interacting with her a little bit. Olivia Parker. So I was on Twitter, and please do not harass anyone that I talk about. Because I don't have time to black out Twitter names. Do not harass this person. She just truly believes about this. And so, back here, I stand by my words. I stand with the LGBT community. I stand with Jussie Smollett, and I believe Black Lives Matter. Blah, blah, blah. I have well-documented histories of racial and anti-LGBT bias, falsifying documents, and corruption. Your stories matter. You matter, Jussie Smollett.
I believe you, and Jussie Smollett, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I believe you. I know the CPD's history of falsifying documents, discriminating against people of color, and dismissing claims brought by the LGBT community. I am not a member of the LGBT community, but I believe you, and your story matters. And no internet troll or no, I don't care if I lose job opportunities over this. I will fall on a sword for you because I'm sick of your stories being dismissed. You matter. Trolls come for me. I do not care. I will fall on the sword. Period. CPD, you're disgusting. Okay? Mainstream media, you're disgusting. And everybody who, in consideration of the information that's publicly available, of the ways in which the CPD discriminates, for you to just assume.
So now, let me have a little. This gal's actually pretty nice. I had to end up having a conversation with her later, but she's just a true believer. She has to be a fan of the show, fan of Jussie Smollett, and she just does not believe what the police are saying or what anyone else is saying. You know, the mainstream media being disgusting. The mainstream media ate this story up. The mainstream media just ran with this story like a freight train in France, or whatever that means, like a high bullet train in Japan or something. They ran with this story completely and utterly, giving, you know, that tongue bath interview with Robin Roberts. I'm sorry. They ate this up. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Now, the local media in Chicago wasn't so friendly. They were like, this shit don't make sense. And it didn't. So anyway, but you know, it's just funny to me. Where the hell was that? Oh, here we go. Anyone? Let's see if there's any more good comments on TMZ. I love when TMZ is forced to tell the truth. With all media, it was all lies and propaganda, lies and propaganda, lies and propaganda. And then, oops, we made a mistake. LOL. So anyway, yeah, that boy. Poor Jussie. Poor Jussie Smollett. I feel so bad for Jussie. Do you feel bad for Jussie? Tell me in the chat if you feel bad for Jussie. Tell me what you think about Jussie right now. And I'm going to look at some things going on here. So, let's see. Say the brothers are lying and they did attack. Say the brothers are lying and they did attack him. That doesn't take away the fact that Jussie lied about his attackers being white Trump supporters. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to give that theory a chance anymore. Thanks, Cynical Lindsay. Did you see the latest op-ed from WAPO, Washington Post? The person who wrote it literally said that they wanted this hate crime to be true so that they're not wrong. Yeah, I saw the tweets. It's insanity to me. It's like they want this to be, they're just wish casting this to be that it actually happened so they don't have to take the blame for being so flipping wrong. It's incredible to me. Let's see. And of course, they're going to say the evidence was falsified and that the CPD set him up. No, they didn't. You know, but I'm telling you right now, I'm waiting for, well, Law and Order. I don't even know if there is any more new Law and Order stories anymore. I would love, I told a great sentence for Jussie Smollett is before he goes to prison, the writers at Empire would be forced to write a script where his character faked a hate crime, and then he had to, exactly as it was, as that, oh, I can't even say it, that his character would have to fake a great hate crime exactly as it happened in this scenario, and he would have to play that character and then go to jail. And the footage of the character going to jail would be footage of him actually being walked into the prison and the bars closing. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Let's see. So, okay. I asked the question, does anyone here feel bad for Jussie? Let's see. Jussie is a piece of shit. I don't. He knew he was on the way out, so he did what he could to save himself. Maniac Man, Max Del Rio. No, I don't feel bad for Jussie. Jussie is not sorry for what he did. Not sorry, he did it, but sorry he got caught. He thought we were too stupid, too blind not to notice how off his version of it. Yeah, I mean, it was. Please, Jussie, here. Let me give you a suggestion here, Jussie. don't go into script writing, because your script was terrible. This was a terrible. You would make a terrible screenwriter, because you just don't get it. I mean, he should have been. When they said he was reluctant to call the police, which I don't believe. I think Frank Gatson was in on it. Somehow, I think his manager was in on it somehow. I mean, they're gonna find out something. It's gonna be something with, the postal people figuring out who sent that letter, and I think there's gonna be some people that there's gonna be some. I'm just anticipating some surprises, because although I don't know who came up with this, but it was pretty bad screenwriting. Who else is on here? Let's see. The truth of what Jussie really is just by spelling his first name wrong. Then you know it's true. Yeah. Jussie is a pussy. Jussie played with matches and he got burned. If his manager wrote it, then he got sold up the river, and it's even worse. I'm waiting to see, because he's going to have to come clean soon, because it's just, all this is becoming too obvious, and also the fact that the FBI has been working on that letter for over a month, so they they know something. They got the subpoenas ready. They got the grand jury already going, which nobody knew. Until I read this, until they put this in this blog yesterday. I wonder who Jussie's going to try to throw under the bus. He's already tried to throw the two African guys under the bus with this attorney's letter. But anyway, all right. Well, it's time to move on a little bit. That's the Jussie update. Let's get into some Twitter trends. We got about a little more than a half hour left, so let's get into some Twitter trends. And then I got a couple articles that, it seems like so far this year, oh my gosh, we've gone from the fake news about Manafort, or no, not Manafort. Michael Cohen. The idea that Trump told Michael Cohen a lie, and that turned out to be a fake story. Then we got, go ahead and send it to me, Camel. I'll take it. I'll take another story. I'll check it out. Then we've got the Covington Catholic boys, which turned out to be a fake story. Then we turned on to Jussie Smollett, which is turning out to be a shit show. And so there are people, but you know what? You got to have some outrage. And so there's a couple of things that are coming up that people are going to try to get you outraged about. It's not really working because it's been on for a couple days, but I'm going to get into those after we do Twitter trends. So let's do some Twitter trends real quick. I'm going to start adding theme music for Twitter trends, but let's go. Number one trending on Twitter today is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders announces his 2020 presidential run. He confirmed, an interview with the Vermont Public Radio, Senator Bernie Sanders confirmed that he will be running for president again in 2020. Okay, yippee. Oh, and then 3 hours ago, he just put, I'm running for president. I'm asking you to join me today as part of an unprecedented and historic grassroots campaign that would begin with at least 1 million people from across the country. Say you're in. It's a crowded race. If you were really paying attention during the last election cycle in 2016, I personally think Bernie got screwed. There's plenty of evidence that he was getting screwed by the Democratic Party. Thanks to the chairman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton basically found a way to take basically all the Democratic fundraisers money and used it for her campaign. And they, I don't know. Bernie got screwed in several of the state races. There were states that he won if there were no superdelegates, he would have won. I personally don't agree with Bernie Sanders, but I also don't think that he was treated fairly by the Democratic Party. Hey, someone new. Goon Tune. Hello. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. That data mining company known as Facebook is blocking people who talk about Jussie lying. Really? You know, I was gonna try to do one of those, what's that thing called, Restream, where you can stream it in several different places. So I was gonna try to start streaming this on Facebook and on what's the other one? There's D Live. There's also Stream.me, and I was gonna start doing this on several different platforms just in case one or another decides that I'm not worthy of being on their platform. Although I don't really do anything super controversial, but that's interesting. So the data mining company yeah, they're blocking people who talk about Jussie lying. Really? I might have to go on Facebook and put something about that and see how that works. Interesting. Judge report link. Didn't read story. Okay, yeah, we'll have to check that. I'll check that out after the show and maybe talk about it a little bit tomorrow. So anyway, everyone's excited about Bernie running, I guess. I'm not. I could care less. Bernie Sanders 2020 agenda per AIDS. Medicare for all. You know, a lot of people are really excited about this idea of Medicare for all. My father-in-law is on Medicare, and my God, he spends more, and his healthcare costs are higher than mine. And of course, I work for UPS and I get my health benefits through my work. But still, Medicare for all. I don't think people really understand what that means. That doesn't mean you're going to get free health care. I'm sorry. It just means that now the doctors don't get paid. You have to have supplemental insurance. You have to do all this supplemental drug coverage. It's not free. I'm sorry. Green New Deal climate. Yeah, the Green New Deal. I hope that he's not talking about the Green New Deal that just came out at I don't even know who wrote that mess. Hello, Sean. How you doing? I hope he doesn't mean that Green New Deal. $15 an hour minimum wage. You know what? That sounds fantastic. But have you ever noticed how every time the minimum wage goes, minimum wage it's just that's a canard. In different parts of the country, you don't need the same minimum wage. There's not the same cost of living everywhere in the country. So all you're doing is raising the cost of, God. No, who works for minimum wage for longer than an entry level either? You know, I mean, so someone was talking about, this was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying, or no, it was, what's her name? Elizabeth Warren. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Elizabeth Warren was talking about, if you work at minimum wage and you only make $7,000 a year. First of all, her math sucks. And two, let's just take the fast food restaurants around where I live. All have we're hiring signs up. Yes, Pocahontas. I didn't want to say it, but you put it in my chat and I had to say it. This, you know what? Here's something that pisses me off about Donald Trump. Let me just do another. I'm going on tangents today. It's Tangent Day on the Morning Night Live. You know what really pisses me off about Donald Trump? He can't even get a meme right sometimes. He keeps calling her Pocahontas. It's not Pocahontas. Everyone look at the chat. Look what Sarah wrote there. It's Faux-Kahontas, as in fake Kahontas. Faux-Kahontas. Liawatha. That works too. Anyway, none of the fast food restaurants around here pay less than $12 an hour, and some of them start you. Some start you at $13, $15 an hour. I don't know minimum wage. Who? And every time you raise the minimum wage, it makes it harder for kids to get jobs. It makes it harder. When I was a kid, I started out at a minimum wage job working for this realty company that had a bunch of manor properties. So we mowed lawns and we move furniture around and whatever. And I did it at minimum wage when I was 15 because you could get that job. But minimum wage wasn't ridiculous. You know, it wasn't beyond what a entry-level worker would get. But and fortunately, I worked that job like all through high school in the summers, and minimum wage came up, went up a couple times, and our boss would say, "Well, we got to hire." They would more older people would come into those entry-level jobs, and so we couldn't get other kids to work there because they, the guys, well, there's people with more experience and whatever working these jobs. Kids can't get jobs when the minimum wage keeps going up, or they'll just have kiosks. Like the McDonald's has the touch screens in a lot of places now that all have fecal matter on them, which is kind of gross, but and it doesn't cost the same to live in Podunk, Idaho, as it does to live in New York City. So having a single minimum wage for the entire country makes 0 sense. 0. The minimum wage should be, well, no, I don't think it should be 0. Actually, from a pure capitalist standpoint, it should be 0, but I don't know. That'll never happen. I don't know. Just whatever. Yeah, I remember it was $5.25. I remember it was when it was $3.25. Cynical Lindsay. But the other thing too, I worked that job 4 summers. It was minimum wage the first 3 months, or not 3 months, the first couple months, and then I got a raise, and then I worked there part-time in school when I was in school, and then worked there in the summers again, and I always got raises, and I've never worked for minimum wage again. Even, that's not true, because I worked in the restaurant industry back in Iowa when I was started with TJ Fridays a long time ago. You worked minimum wage, but I made tips. I made 10 times the minimum wage in tips, so it didn't matter. But anyway, what else does Bernie want to look at? Criminal justice reform, which is what they've already started. Free college. Go to hell. What do we need free college for? First of all, not everyone needs college, so that only pretty much free college goes to who? Okay, it goes to the elite and the privileged. I'm sorry, not everyone needs free college, and whatever. Good God, break up the biggest banks. I don't care. Why? If I want to bank at a smaller bank, which I already do, I will. Now if it's a point where there's only 6 banks available in the entire country, maybe, yeah, that's a monopoly. But I already bank at a smaller bank. I don't need you. I don't care if you break up Wells Fargo or Citibank or Bank of America. I don't bank at any of those. I bank at a local bank for a reason. Gender pay equity. What the fuck does that mean? Gender pay equity. Hello? Oh, I get it. He's thinking wage gap. Wage gap nonsense. Okay, fine. Unmarried single women between 20 and 25, on average, in the same lines of work, make more than men in the same age group, 20 to 25. So, fine. Let's do that. Let's make sure that they make exactly the same amount. That means you need to pay the men more or pay the women less in that age group. Okay? Good? All right. That's how people doing different jobs make different amount of money. People who work different hours make a different amount of money. Good God. Paid leave. Paid leave. That's interesting. You mean like vacation? Oh, paid. I'm sure they mean like paid medical leave or paid family leave. So you're going to force companies to pay for people who aren't there. You know, I don't know if it was a study or what. I remember hearing about that companies that do that they'll give you a 3-week paid medical leave for, you know, a family leave. Like I even had family leave at a company I worked when my kids were born. And I got, I think it was, I had 4 weeks. I mean, I had to use up PTO, paid off time, based on how many years I worked there. But I got 4 weeks off when both of my kids were born. And after that time, I went back to work and worked there for a few more years. Problem with that is a lot of people who do that, especially women, and this is only on average, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. If they have the leave, they have it. But a lot of women would take their leave and then they decide after that leave that they're not coming back because they wanted to raise their kids. So how long do we want paid leave to be? I don't know. Lower drug prices. Well, that's already being worked on. I don't think you probably hear much about it, but that's on the current agenda of the current president. And if they figure out a way to do it that makes drugs still available, great, good for that. Expand Social Security. Really? Expand Social Security. Social Security might be one of the biggest outlays right now, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Expand Social Security. There's going to be a lot of older people. You got to figure out how to make Social Security last, because I'm already at the age where I'm probably not going to get it when I'm ready for it in how long? 10 years or so, or 10, 15 years? I don't know. Whenever I'm eligible for it. Expand it how? Social Security is already the world's greatest Ponzi scheme. Okay, when they developed it, it was always designed on the fact that the population is growing. There's always going to be more younger people to pay for it for the older people. And then they keep putting it in the general budget. So it's not like it's just out there, you know, in the Al Gore lockbox. Basically, the people who are working now are paying for the people who have retired, which I don't have a problem with if they find a way to keep it solvent. I wouldn't care if they raised the age to get Social Security to 70. Okay? And that's me, who's closer to Social Security than most people I'm talking to right now. I'll work till I'm 70. I don't care. I feel good. You know? But it used to take, it was like 11 or 12 people. What was it? There's 11 or 12 people to pay for each person on Social Security working. Now it's down to like 3, and it may be down to 2 by the time I'm to that. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I don't know what you mean by expanding. Save unions. I'm not for or against unions. Unions have their place. I'm a member of a union. I don't like the politics of my union, but the union has its place as far as how I get my benefits where I work. I am supportive of unions, but they're not for every industry. Especially, I'm not a real big fan of public employee unions. You know, unions that are in private industries that are trying to negotiate better deals with private companies who make a profit, and then they try to negotiate so that some of that profit actually goes back to help the people who are working. I don't mind those kind of unions. I don't think, I'm not for them nor against them. They're in some places they're useful. Public employee unions, I think that's nuts, because public employee unions don't have to negotiate with something that's making a profit. Public employee unions negotiate with politicians who can pander to them and get money from them to get themselves reelected and give them more money out of someone else's pocket, that with a company, so to speak, that's producing nothing. Government doesn't produce anything. So basically, public employee unions are negotiating against the public to give them more. Did that make sense? Anyway. And then the DREAM Act, Dreamers. You know, I have no problem with the DREAM Act. Secure the border first. Secure the border so that we don't have more dreamers coming in. Anyway, that's Bernie Sanders. He's the number one thing trending on Twitter today. Ooh, I spent way too much time in that, but whatever. Number 2, Karl Lagerfeld. What? Oh, dude, that's too bad. Karl Lagerfeld died. Karl Lagerfeld, pet cat, Choupette. He's used to pampered lives of private jets and personal maids. His death has raised concerns over what will become of her. Are you serious? That's the first thing that comes up? Karl Lagerfeld dies and you're worried about his fucking cat? I swore again. Did I do that out loud? Yes, I did. Okay. Iconic fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld has died at age 85. Okay. It's funny. Back in the 80s, his cologne was the big thing, and I couldn't stand it. Too many guys wore that shit. John Wayne. Why is John Wayne trending? If people are mad at John Wayne in 1971 Playboy, wait till they read Bernie Sanders in 1971 Vermont communist carrot farmer and sex fantasy news. Oh, God. Okay, so this is one of those, we're going to go back and dig up some shit about some interview that someone did. What's a 71 Playboy interview featuring John Wayne's comments on race and sexuality have stirred a fresh debate. So somebody's bitching about John Wayne. Let's see. May contain... Oh, my God. Jesus, fuck, John Wayne was a straight-up piece of shit. Playboy interview, May... You know what? Y'all, what year is it today? What year is it right now? What year is it? It is what? Current year is 2019. My God, could there have been some different attitudes and norms and conditions in 1971? Could there be things that people never thought of as being super problematic in 1971 that might be super problematic now? I'm good. Oh my God. Wait till some of these fuckers watch Blazing Saddles. I swore again. What's wrong with this interview? Let's see. Okay. Playboy, what kinds of films do you consider perverted? Oh, Easy Rider, Midnight Cowboy, that sort of thing. Would you say the wonderful love of these two men in Midnight Cowboy, a story about two fags, qualifies? But don't get me wrong. As far as the man and woman is concerned, I'm awfully happy there's a thing called sex. It's an extra something God gave us. I see no reason why it shouldn't be in pictures. Healthy, lustful sex is wonderful. Okay. This is 1971. Y'all act like he said it. He said it in an interview yesterday with Slate or something. You know? Oh my God. Playboy, Angela Davis claims that those who would revoke her teaching credentials on ideological grounds are actually discriminating against her because she's black. Do you think there's any truth to that? John Wayne. With a lot of blacks, there is quite a bit of resentment along their descent, and possibly rightfully so. But we can't all of a sudden get down on our knees and turn everything over to the leadership of blacks. I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to the point of responsibility. I don't believe in giving authority to positions of leadership and judgment to irresponsible people. Okay. This is John Wayne in 1971. Okay. And I also, the term white supremacy back then didn't exactly mean the same thing, although it kind of did, but whatever. Are you equipped to judge blacks which are irresponsible? Are you to judge which blacks are irresponsible and which of their leaders are inexperienced? It's not my judgment. The academic community has developed certain tests that determine whether the blacks are sufficiently equipped scholastically. But some blacks have tried to force the issue and enter college when they haven't passed the test and don't have the requisite background. Okay, so this is his attitude in 1971. I don't give a shit. Playboy, how many militant blacks would argue that they have it better most anywhere else, even in Hollywood? They feel that the color barrier is still up for many kinds of jobs. Do you limit the number of blacks you use in your pictures? Oh, Christ, no. I've directed 2 pictures and I gave the blacks their proper position. I had a black slave in the Alamo and I had a correct number of blacks in the Green Berets. If it's supposed to be a black character, naturally I use a black actor, but I don't go so far as hunting for positions for them. I think the Hollywood studios are carrying their tokenism a little too far. There's no doubt that 10% of the population is black or colored or whatever they want to call themselves. They certainly aren't Caucasian. Anyway, I suppose there should be the same percentage of the colored race in films as in society. But it can't always be that way. There isn't necessarily going to be 10% of the grips or soundmen who are black, because more likely 10% haven't trained themselves for that type of work. Wow, let's see. Let's put people in roles that they should be in, and he's actually kind of, if you ask me, he's kind of progressive here. Fuck. And so people are bitching. This is what this guy's bitching. Oh my God. Can blacks be integrated into the film industry if they are denied training and education? It's just hard for a white man to get a card in the Hollywood craft unions. It's just as hard for a white man to get a card in the Hollywood craft unions. Okay. Playboy, that's hardly the point, but let's change the subject. For years, American Indians have played an important, if subordinate, role in your westerns. Do you feel any empathy with them? I don't feel we did wrong in taking this great country away from them, if that's what you're asking. Our so-called stealing of this country from them was just a matter of survival. There were great numbers of people who needed new land, and the Indians were selfishly trying to keep it for themselves. Okay, this is an old dude in 1971. Yes, he had some weird ideas. So it's 1971. I can't believe the interviewer had solid questions. Oh, whatever. Did John Wayne really turn down a role in Blazing Saddles? Oh, didn't know that. Oh, because the language was too blue. So he didn't like all the swearing in Blazing Saddles. If it's supposed to be a black character, naturally I'd use a black actor. Was as woke as John Wayne got, I guess. So, whatever. So, okay, well, we're going to hear about John Wayne all fucking day. Speak for yourself. New trend. Let's move on. Fuck. I'm swearing all. I'm just going to make this a whole day of swearing. Should I just do that? Should I just swear the rest of the day? Let's see. Stop swearing. Oh. I just looked down and saw that, Sarah. Can you all still hear me? I think you can hear me. Anyway, I'm rambling in and out because I'm just dumbfounded that someone's bitching about an interview from 1971. Now, I, as a black man, I always love when people start sentences like that. Well, I, as a biracial, transgender, cis-normative, non-binary black man of Nicaraguan descent. Yeah, I'm not any of those. Well, I'm a couple of those things, but I'm not gonna tell you which ones. Speak for yourself. Oh, you know what? I gotta hurry up here. What is this? What is this speak for yourself about? What's BTS? Tickets for BTS. What is BTS? BTS. I don't. Okay, I don't know. Trending with Love Yourself, big hit, Wembley Stadium. I don't know. Does anyone know what that is? I don't know. Let's go to Tuesday Thoughts. No, let's skip Tuesday Thoughts. Lilac wants a horse. Okay. Tuesday Thoughts. Interesting read. Here. Blockbuster refused to buy Netflix. Netflix was literally laughed out of that meeting for $50 million. Netflix is now worth $64.7 billion. And where's Blockbuster? MySpace rejected Facebook. Original purchase price. Facebook is now worth $439 billion and falling. And where's MySpace? We might be seeing MySpace again. Ross Perot refused to buy into Microsoft for $60 million. Microsoft is now worth $507.5 billion. And where is Ross Perot? I think Ross Perot died, didn't he? Or he's really old. I don't know. Ross Perot ain't hurting for money if he's still alive. George Bell, the CEO of then Excite, refused to buy Google for $750,000. Google is now worth $641 billion. And where is Excite? You know, all these things, it's interesting. Yeah, they decided not to buy these entities for whatever price that they're talking about. But you know what? Does that guarantee that if they would have bought them, they would still be the success they are now? For example, Blockbuster refusing to buy Netflix. What if the people at Blockbuster didn't manage the growth of Netflix the same way that Netflix did? Would it still be worth $64 billion now? It might not be. They might have screwed it up. Same with Ross Perot with Microsoft. Of course, actually, he would have bought into Microsoft, not buying Microsoft. But, you know, Excite and Google. What if Excite, which used to be a search engine, a crappy search engine, what if they had bought Google and then just shut it down? Google wouldn't be worth anything right now. So that doesn't mean anything. So anyway, when people say no to you, keep going. You are worth more than you know, and your time is coming. When people laugh at your goals and dreams, let them laugh and keep going. They will be the same ones who regret their decisions to laugh at you in the future. So, okay, big deal. The advice is good, but the examples are not necessarily, don't mean jack to me. Never Bernie is trending. Oh, shit. That's good. Never Bernie's trending. Then Bernie announces his candidacy, and there's people who say, never Bernie. Oh, gosh. I'm not interested in having Bernie as a president. I'm over the Democratic Socialists. I'm just not. Bernie Sanders would have won. For the people saying never Bernie, just look how far Hillary got us. And look who's in the White House. Bernie, 2020. I can't guarantee Bernie would have beat Trump either. I think he would have had a better chance than Trump. Bernie was actually a far more energetic campaigner than Hillary Clinton was. I mean, Hillary just, I mean, I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories, but I just think Hillary wasn't well. I don't know. Oh, goodness. I'm a Carlisle from Justice Thomas. Interesting. This is the last one Twitter trend I'm going to do. What did Justice Thomas do? It is impossible to fully underscore how central the Sullivan decision is to our modern conception of press freedom. When Donald Trump talks about rewriting libel laws, this is what he means. Justice Thomas is the only vote, but this is a scary opinion nonetheless. Justice Thomas says SCOTUS should reconsider New York Times versus Sullivan. Let's read this. Like Justice White, I assume that New York Times and our other constitutional decisions displacing state defamation law have been popular in some circles, but this is not the road to salvation for a court of law. We did not begin meddling in this area until 1964. Nearly 175 years after the First Amendment was ratified, the states are perfectly capable of striking an acceptable balance between encouraging robust public discourse and providing a meaningful remedy for reputational harm. We should reconsider our jurisprudence in this area. I'm assuming he means taking the federal government out of what? Of what? I don't know. They don't like him because he's him and he's a conservative. I'm not going to get, this is way too cerebral for me right now. I don't care. Let's see. All right, enough with trans. Let's check out the article that, let me see what has been sent to me here real quick. Camel. Oh, yeah. this will be the last one. I am going to read this one, although I haven't looked at it too closely. Apparently, this ISIS bride wants to come back to the United States. So, American ISIS bride Hoda Muthana pleads with the U.S. authorities to return home from Syria. Less than 24 hours after ISIS bride Shamima Begum asked to return to the UK from Syria, an American woman in the same Syrian refugee camp has pleaded to return home. Hoda Muthana said she's deeply regretted joining the terrorist group. The 24-year-old left her home in Alabama 4 years ago and is now living with her 18-month-old son, in the Al-Hal refugee camp, the same facility where Ms. Begum has been held. The American became a high-profile advocate of ISIS's campaign of violence across Iraq and Syria on Twitter, but has claimed she was brainwashed by the group. Ms. Muthana told The Guardian she and other recruits had misunderstood the Islamic faith. Really? I look back now and think I was very arrogant, she said. Now I'm worried about my son's future. I was brainwashed once, and my friends are still brainwashed. We were basically in the time of ignorance. I thought I was doing things correctly for the sake of God. Ms. Muthana told the newspaper she married 3 times in Syria. What? Both her first and second jihadist husbands died in fighting. She said she and her son fled from Susa, close to the current front line in Baghouz, around 6 weeks ago. The Americans slept in the desert for 2 nights before captured by Kurdish forces and taken to Al-Hal. Ms. Muthana is reportedly the only U.S. citizen among the estimated 1,500 foreign women and children at the huge camp for ISIS family members, now home to almost 40,000 people. My gosh. She is begging U.S. authorities to allow her to return home to Alabama. I would tell them, please forgive me for being so ignorant. And I was really young and ignorant, and I was 19 when I decided to leave, she said. I believe that America gives second chances. I want to return, and I'll never come back to the Middle East. America can take my passport. I wouldn't mind. An intense debate has erupted in Britain over the fate of Miss Begum since she was tracked down by reporters at Al-Hal earlier this week. Several ministers, including the Home Secretary Sajid Javid, have insisted she will not be permitted to return to the UK. Others, including the head of MI6, Alex Younger, have warned she could still be a potential threat. Interesting. Man, I don't even know what to say about that. Do they have a little... No, they don't. Oh, yeah, is this the... Oh, there's no sound to this. Hang on. Is this... Oh, that's not the same report. Anyway, that's some... Wow, I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, how about no? How about hell no? I don't know. I have no idea. You know? Yeah, took that girl 3 husbands and a baby before she decided she was brainwashed. Isn't there a movie about that somewhere? 3 something, 3. Oh, no, that's 3 Men and a Baby. That was Steve Guttenberg and the guy from Cheers and Tom Selleck. Did anyone remember that movie? 3 Men and a Baby? Oh, not Steve Guttenberg. Was it Steve Guttenberg? And the guy that used to date Whoopi Goldberg did the blackface. What's his name? Tom Selleck. Ted Danson. Ted Danson, Mr. Blackface himself. Okay. All right, well, guess what, folks? It's that time. I'm got to shut it down on time for a change because I just get too excited about Jussie. I mean, how can I not get excited about Jussie? You know, let's just out of curiosity. I said I was just about to shut it down, but I'm going to just go to the Jussie Smollett. Oh, 2,630 tweets in the last hour. There's got to be something new. There's got to be something new. Oh, Nikki Haley is... Here, let's show you here. Nikki Haley has chimed in. This is from an hour ago. Thoughts on the Jussie Smollett case. he must be held accountable in the strictest way. He must repay resources used to investigate and serve time for the division he caused. The media should be the most outraged. He played all of them for fools. He knew they would cover it. Yeah, they sure would. They sure would. Yeah, that's just it. That's an easy, that's an easy, just if you want to get, the media's going to cover it because that's what they want. They want all these stories to be true because, first of all, the media makes plenty of money. It's click, man. It's clickbait. That is some click-worthy stuff. And it's perfect because it has everything. It has anti-Trump. It has racism, homophobia. That's a story that is just a dream story laid in their laps, and none of them said, "Wow, this is way too easy. This is way too easy. There's something wrong here because it shouldn't be that easy." Because they want to say there's thousands of stories like this. Really? Where are they then? Okay? Because all the most high-profile hate crime cases I've seen in the last 2 years have all turned out to be fake. I mean, maybe there might be one that I can think. I can't even think of them right now. So many fake ones. So, good God. Anything else? National Review, just more than that. Here, let's do that. I'll do this. Let's click latest. Oh. I don't know if you can see this. I'm not going to do it. It's a hijacked billboard. The Orange Man Bad Show with John Oliver. I don't see... HBO billboard at the corner of La Cienega Boulevard and Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles was hijacked by conservative street artists. The image of the Empire actor have been inserted in ads for Black Panther, Green Book, and Black Klansman. Oh, so it's one of those. Is it one of those? Oh. Oh, they've been doing it all over the place. Can you see this? It's an ad for the Black Klansman with Jussie Smollett's face wearing a MAGA hat. It says, "This is MAGA country." Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. What else am I missing here? Where did it go? Where am I at here? It should go back. Oh, did that? Oh, here we go. No, that's back here. What the hell did I do? Oh, here we go. Wow. Okay, it doesn't look like there's a... Here, I know, let's do this. I was going to leave. I was prepared to end this stream. But... let's just see if Rob has anything. Rob Elgus. Nope, nothing since 18 hours ago. Let's check Rafer Weigel. Rafer Weigel. Okay, so this is the Fox 32 story that Jussie Smollett rehearsed the attack. Police sources, Jussie's... Here, let's just watch this report.
First, we begin with new information from our Fox 32 police sources in the investigation surrounding what Jussie Smollett said was a vicious attack on him. Rafer Weigel has the very latest.
Corey and Dawn, Fox 32 News has learned that the two brothers who were arrested, detained, questioned, and then released by police, not only did they say that the incident was staged, they told detectives that the incident was rehearsed before they carried it out. Also, they told detectives that they were paid as much as $3,500 to do it. Now, we recently obtained an itemized list of what exactly was taken from the brothers' home by detectives as evidence, and this included a red hat, several containers of bleach, a receipt which officers tell us was for the rope that was purchased and put around Smollett's neck, and a magazine that was similar to the one that was used to cut out letters for the hate mail that was sent to Smollett at the Empire Stage. Also, regarding reports of Chicago PD sending the case to a grand jury, a PD spokesman tells me that is, quote, certainly possible, but way too premature. Investigators say they would only resort to that if
Certainly possible.
Smollett refuses to come in voluntarily for questioning. Now, Smollett's lawyers released a statement saying that they are cooperating with police, but officers tell me they have been given no indication that Smollett will be coming in anytime soon. Smollett has also hired a Chicago-based crisis management team who I spoke to today, Ann Kavanaugh, telling me they don't plan to have Smollett come in and talk to police right now, but that could change. Smollett, on the other hand, saying he has been further victimized by all of the false rumors around his assault.
Tells this.
He's a victim now. He's a victim. Herb to Derp, Fox is. Yeah, well, yeah. That's going to be the argument. Fox is fake news, but you know, this is a local Fox station. They're just an affiliate. They're probably, and in fact, Rafer Weigel, if you ever go through his Twitter feed a little deeper, he's pretty much, he's fairly liberal. So, but he's just being a great reporter, and that's what we need on this. All right, so that's it for today. Enough of that. I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you so much. I forgot to shill, but that's okay. I don't need to shill. I'm just happy that you're here. And I'm also happy that you share this stream when I come on. The people who retweet my tweets started it. Irish Rose, were you lurking today? You just get here or you've been lurking? Well, in either case, thank you for being here. I love doing this. T's Corner Store. I don't know, T's. You're new too. I'm seeing. You know what? I really enjoy seeing new names up here. Just join us in the chat, just so I know you're here. I appreciate that. But hey, I'm so glad you were here. This is so much fun. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, at the Morning Night Live. And just thank you. I appreciate you being here. Share the stream right down. Oh, where's my camera? Right there. Right down there. Hit the share button. Make sure you hit the like. I think everyone hits the like pretty much. I really appreciate that. I think I've had one thumbs down once. But for the most part, y'all have been very generous with your time being here every morning, and I just really, really appreciate. Bear! What the hell are you doing here? Bear, you and I got to chat, by the way. I'll DM you. I got to ask you something. I'd like you to come on my 200 subscribers special. I haven't asked you yet. I asked a few other people. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming here. This has been the Morning Night Live. My name is P-Dog Knight. I'm sorry, had a gap there. And I am out of here. Thank you.